Welcome, and thank you for attending our presentation focused on the New York State Pollution Prevention Community Grants Program. Here's what we'll cover today: an overview of the New York State Pollution Prevention Institute and the Community Grants Program. We'll go over some pollution prevention basics and how pollution prevention could play a role in your organizations and institutions. Then we'll go over some project ideas, followed by a few examples of former projects we funded, and lastly we'll provide the next steps. The New York State Pollution Prevention Institute is headquartered at the Rochester Institute of Technology. It was established in 2008, with the annual funding administered through the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Our focus areas include sustainable manufacturing assessments, supply chain sustainability, technology commercialization, food waste diversion, outreach and education, research and development, and emerging contaminants. The Community Grants Program funds New York-based organizations for one-year projects up to $30,000. We fund and support projects with focus areas that cover the outreach and education of pollution prevention practices, such as reducing resource use, hazardous chemicals, and food waste, as well as New York State's priority areas in greenhouse gas reductions and waste reduction through circular economy concepts. As you can see, our grantees span the Great Empire State. These are just a handful of the organizations and institutions. However, since 2008, we've funded over 180 projects and counting. It's always great to highlight the diversity in who we award and support. The Community Grants Program has 4 key pillars that we encourage potential applicants to understand and become familiar with. Our first pillar, the core focus of the grant, is to reduce or eliminate waste at the source, modify production processes, promote use of less toxic substances, and encourage reuse. Our second pillar, outreach and education, is a critical component in that. We require projects to raise awareness of pollution prevention and promote the understanding of sustainable practices at the community level. Our third pillar, focused on community impact, we want to support projects that have broad, meaningful impact, with a focus on communities affected by, or experienced or are susceptible to environmental harms and risks. The final pillar is focused on replicability, so that projects can be replicated in other parts of New York State by other organizations seeking to implement similar pollution prevention efforts. Please note, our grant funding cannot be used for capital equipment. This includes the use of funds to purchase large machinery or permanent infrastructure. We do not fund projects that solely focused on research and/or planning. Our goal is to ensure that grant funds result in tangible outcomes and measurable benefits for the community within the grant period. We also don't fund projects focused on recycling and waste management. While these are important aspects of sustainability, those efforts are centered on managing waste/pollution after it's been created. Now that you're familiar and understand more about our grant program, here's why pollution prevention matters. Implementing pollution prevention efforts may reduce wastes and costs, can help to protect health and the environment, can be cost-effective, and empowers communities. As defined by the Environmental Protection Agency, pollution prevention is reducing pollution at its source before it goes into our environment. It involves proactive practices to prevent the generation of pollutants as opposed to managing it after it's created. Pollution prevention is not focused on recycling or disposal. While those efforts are great, they occur after pollution has been generated. As shared in the previous slide, the benefits of implementing pollution prevention efforts include environmental protection and cost savings. Nonprofits and higher education institutions play key roles in that they are trusted community leaders and serves as hubs of innovation with access to diverse audiences and partnerships. And most importantly, their impact serves at the community level. Here's a few pollution prevention project ideas that could be implemented, just to name a few. For nonprofits, perhaps host zero-waste events, composting workshops, or youth green ambassador programs. And for colleges and universities, similar programming could be implemented, such as campus zero-waste events, service learning courses, and student-led campaigns. If you are concerned that you will need environmental experts to implement your pollution prevention efforts and programming, that's understandable. Surprisingly, the answer is no. Many projects can be planned and implemented by your internal team of staff and stakeholders. There are various resources and toolkits are available online via our website, the Department of Environmental Conservation, and the EPA's website as well. And you can always partner with environmental experts when needed by subcontracting with other organizations as a project partner on the grant. Many agencies are willing to collaborate or co-host events in exchange for visibility or outreach opportunities. Here are some great examples of projects we've funded in the past. As I go through each one, think about potential collaborations that could be established with organizations to help carry out your pollution prevention ideas. The Tool Library hosted 24 repair cafes throughout the city of Buffalo to encourage the practice of repair and reuse of household items such as gardening tools and kitchen appliances. Their primary project goal was to divert waste from landfills. During each event, the community were encouraged to bring electrical items for repair. Those that participated learned how to repair their items alongside staff and volunteers, known as fixers. The organization Shift 2 worked to refurbish 100 phased-out corporate laptops. Shift 2 then distributed the laptops to public school students. These efforts resulted in expanded information technology access for the participating students that lived in areas designated as environmental justice communities. Additionally, the Shift 2 project extended the life cycle of the laptops and thereby reduced its environmental impact by diverting electronic waste from landfills. The Cornhill Waterfront Navigation Foundation developed educational materials and led hands-on place-based citizen science events focused on preventing pollution of the Genesee River. Students were involved in activities that increased knowledge of water quality testing and data analysis, inspired community advocacy, and expanded knowledge of the careers and occupations related to pollution prevention and environmental stewardship. The Snug Harbor Cultural Center and Botanical Garden focused on composting in Staten Island. They established 4 food scrap drop-off sites in neighborhoods across Staten Island to help divert organic waste from landfills or incineration. Snug Harbor collaborated with local community organizations to educate youth from underserved communities on the importance of organics recycling and train the youth to become compost ambassadors. So now that you're interested and ready for the next steps, here's what you can do. First, identify project ideas aligned with your mission and identify potential project ideas relative to what we shared with you about pollution prevention. Build partnerships with community educators and environmental experts with shared interest. As a friendly reminder, our annual Community Grants RFA is typically released in early spring each year. Here's our QR code that leads to our webpage for more details. We have a section with a variety of commonly asked questions and our answers. Don't forget to join our listserv to get notifications and updates. Thank you for attending. We appreciate your time, and please feel free to contact us with your questions. Be on the lookout for future webinars as we plan to host soon to answer your questions in real time.